Prophecy is a common element in fantasy novels, but the deeper I get into the genre, the less I like it. My least favorite rendition of the prophecy trope is the Chosen One prophecy, and I'm at the point now where Chosen One prophecies just induce eye rolls. However, there are a few stories who do prophecy, and specifically the Chosen One prophecy, really well. Today we're going to take a deeper look into the Harry Potter series. Prophecy is first introduced into the series in the third book, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, I guess technically it was introduced with the Centaurs and Sorcerer's Stone, but we're talking about the formal introduction. As I reread Prisoner of Azkaban, I started seeing three different types of prophecy: fake prophecy, low prophecy, and high prophecy. Let's start with fake prophecy. I don't know if I can really call it a type of prophecy at all. These are prophecies like, is your grandmother well? I wouldn't be so sure. Or beware of a red-haired man. Or that when 13 sit at a table, the first person to stand will die. None of these are really predictions. The first is kind of passive-aggressive, but putting that aside, they're vague insinuations of prophecy. While their legitimacy as prophecies is questionable, we are still going to discuss them in this video. Low prophecy are more everyday predictions. Some examples include predictions Ron and Harry make in class or on homework, like it's going to be foggy tonight, or you're going to suffer and be happy about it. Or Trelawney's predictions in class, like that someone in their class would leave, or reading Harry's very short lifeline. Finally, high prophecies are rare moments when Trelawney enters a trance, or concrete predictions made by the Centaurs. Each type of prophecy serves a different purpose in the story, and we're going to take a look at each one. Fake prophecy often adds a sense of foreboding, but are typically ignored. The dismissal of these superstitions or vague prophecies is an essential piece of the novels because they throw us off the scent. They ruin Trelawney's credibility in our eyes and make it so much easier to discard prophecy in general. Low prophecy is amazing. There is so much of it throughout the books. For this video, I reread the books and made a list of every prophecy made throughout the series, and I want to point them out to prove a point. In their first class, Trelawney predicts she will get the flu and lose her voice. There is no evidence for or against the truth of this prediction. There are more with no evidence that I'm going to skip, but just know there are plenty. Trelawney also predicts that around Easter, someone will leave the class. This came true with Hermione dramatically choosing to drop the course. She predicts Neville will break a teacup, and he does. Harry predicts Ron will suffer and be happy about it. This is vague, but I'm sure we could find a case where this is true at some point in Ron's life. Ron predicts Harry will work for the ministry, which we learn in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child that this is true. Ron predicts Harry will come into some unexpected gold, which comes true thanks to his Triwizard Tournament winnings. And I guess maybe it comes true with the leprechaun gold. I don't know if that really counts though. Trelawney predicts Harry will be attacked, that he is in danger, and that she sees the Grim and deduces that he will die. While vague, all of it is true. Later she reads Harry's short lifeline, which is true since he's killed at 17. In the crystal ball selection, she predicts what will be on the final exams. Duh. Trelawney sees the Grim again, which is true if she's seeing black, and true if she is seeing the Grim. Harry pretends to see a hippogriff with his head still intact flying away, which is made up, but true. In the Goblet of Fire, they're doing homework and Harry says he's in danger of burns, which is true thanks to the Blasted Scroots and the dragons. Also in their homework, there are a series of predictions that, though in their actual wording are unconfirmed, foreshadow the entire book. Losing a treasured possession, losing a bet, stabbed in the back by a friend, come off worse in a fight, Ron drowning. And there's two that definitely don't come true. Ron isn't trampled by a hippogriff and Harry isn't decapitated. In the Order of the Phoenix, Trelawney predicts that Umbridge is in grave peril, and the Centaurs made sure that that came true. Trelawney predicts again that Harry would have a premature death. And finally, in Harry's final exams in the Order of Phoenix, he predicts his tester would meet a soggy end and that he should have died the previous Tuesday, which obviously didn't come true. So who cares? Why go through all of these? The point is that for every false prophecy or ridiculous prophecy, there are at least two that come true. The back and forth nature and the general dismissal of fake and low prophecy by most of the characters in the book is a perfect setup. J.K. Rowling can foreshadow in our faces and we won't even notice it. And it sets the stage for high prophecy. There are only 5 instances of high prophecy in the entire series. The first occurs off-scene in the Sorcerer's Stone, and we only hear about it through a conversation between the centaurs, which is kind of lengthy and vague. But reading between the lines, and now that we know all the information from the other books, it's pretty likely the centaurs knew Harry and Voldemort would eventually clash. Its appearance is extremely significant, not only because Harry just met Voldemort in the forest, but it sets the direction of the rest of the book. And that's a pattern we will see with the rest of the high prophecies. The next instance is Book 3, when Trelawney goes into a trance at the end of Harry's final. It will happen tonight. A dark lord lies alone and friendless, abandoned by his followers. His servant has been chained these 12 years. Tonight, before midnight, the servant will break free and set out to rejoin his master. The Dark Lord will rise again with his servant's aid, greater and more terrible than ever he was. Tonight, before midnight, the servant will set out to rejoin his master. We have seen so many low prophecies in this book that the appearance of a high prophecy is shocking and foreboding, but absolutely believable. This moment is a turning point in the novel and in the entire series. We're not in school drama anymore. Voldemort is coming back. His support is growing, and again, it sets in motion the direction of the rest of the story. From that moment then, the tensions and stakes only go up. The next 2 happen in or are revealed in the Order of the Phoenix. The first is given by Firenze in divination class. Firenze pointed to the red star directly above Harry. In the past decade, the indications have been that wizard kind is living through nothing more than a brief calm between 2 wars. Mars, bringer of battle, shines brightly above us, suggesting that the fight must break out again soon. This prophecy, though not surprising, confirms everything Harry has been fighting for throughout the book, and it points us forward toward Voldemort's confirmed return and the ensuing war. The final prophecy of the 5th book is the infamous Chosen One prophecy. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches. Born to those who have thrice defied him, born as the 7th month dies, and the Dark Lord will mark him as his equal. But he will have power the Dark Lord knows not, and either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord will be born as the 7th month dies. This prophecy is executed flawlessly, and it propels us into the final conflict between Harry and Voldemort. I call this prophecy the character prophecy because the story that surrounds it is wrapped in all kinds of character context. This prophecy changed so many lives. Trelawney got a job and found a home at Hogwarts. Snape changed his loyalties. Dumbledore and the Order of the Phoenix gained an edge against Voldemort. Peter Pettigrew showed his hand and lost a finger. Sirius was incriminated. Harry's parents were killed. Harry became a Horcrux. Neville was spared. Voldemort was killed, sort of. And I guess maybe we could say Voldemort was killed a lot. The Dursleys gained a surprise second child, and Hagrid got a new motorcycle. The sheer amount of people moved by this prophecy is staggering. Compare that to the other prophecies in the book. They are either so minor, they don't seem to even matter, so vague them coming true almost feels like a fluke, or, though important and powerful, did not change anyone's course of action. And this is the main lesson to learn about prophecy through the Harry Potter novels. Personal connection. Prophecies are great, but they don't matter even as foreshadowing if they don't have personal meaning to the characters. Though not as obvious, every high prophecy impacts Harry in some way, and thus we, the reader, feel its significance. In the case of this Chosen One prophecy, people's reactions matter so much more than the prophecy itself. Harry wasn't even the Chosen One until Voldemort decided he was. And that is what made him the Chosen One, nothing else. And definitely not the prophecy. This is what makes Harry Potter stand out in the realm of prophecies in the fantasy genre. So often, prophecy is presented as predictions, fate, inevitable. And while Harry Potter definitely has those same vibes, the reality is that human choice and action changed how that prophecy was fulfilled. There's one more instance of high prophecy in book 6, but talking about it doesn't really add anything new to this conversation, so we're going to skip it. So what does all this mean for your writing? 1. Root your prophecy in character. Either their actions change the ultimate trajectory of the prophecy, or they have an emotional connection and reaction to the prophecy. 2. If prophecy is commonplace, figure out a way to make meaningful prophecies stand out, either using senses or emotion. 3. Allow prophecies to live and breathe and become part of the story, not just fantastical exposition. Following these 3 steps will turn your prophecies from tired tropes to powerful tools. For myself, doing this research has helped me be more intentional with the prophecy in the fourth wall. The main thing I'm examining as I revise is how I can incorporate the prophecy deeper into the story and give it its own life and movement. I'm considering doing more videos about prophecy in the future, including a similar breakdown of the Chosen One prophecy in Mistborn. Like this video or let me know in the comments what kind of prophecy videos you'd be interested in. Interested in more fiction deep dives? Check out the entire playlist by clicking the card.